My dad unexpectedly showed up at my apartment with toys, claiming they were for my kids, except I don't have kids or a husband. My dad did something so wild yesterday, and I am spinning myself in circles about it. I do not have any kids and am not married. I have never been married, never even moved in with a man. Here's what happened. Yesterday around 6 p.m., my dad knocked on my apartment door. I wasn't expecting him, so when I answered, I was confused but pleasantly surprised. I greeted him normally, and he gave me a side hug because he had a few toy boxes in his hands, like Fisher-Price toys for really young kids, even babies. I didn't say anything about them because I had no reason to assume they were for me, like I just didn't even register them in my brain. He looked normal. He wasn't breathing weirdly, wasn't sweaty, his pupils weren't huge, and nothing was off with him visually. When we hugged, I didn't smell anything weird, no alcohol or smoke or anything. I said I was happy he dropped by, but why is he here? He said he was in the area shopping when saw these toys, which he then held up for me proudly, and wanted to give them to the girls. I said who, and he gave me 2 names I didn't recognize. I remember my brain sorting through the Rolodex of everyone I've ever met in our family Terminator style, and nobody matched. As I'm standing there trying to match the names of any kids I know of, he peeks over my shoulder into the apartment and asks if the kids are here, or if they're with Mike. Again, who is that? It's my husband. I must have been radiating confusion since now my dad is looking just as confused as I am, but still keeping up a good mood kind of vibe. I told him I was not married and had no kids. At first he insisted I did, and when I reiterated that, he just kind of shook his head. At this point, I'm getting concerned. Is my dad lost? Confused? Is he having some kind of breakdown? I ask my dad if he knows where he is. He starts to get frustrated quickly and confirms that yes, he knows where he is and who I am. I start to ask him questions that I've seen in movies like, do you know what time it is? Or the year? And he just gets more and more angry. He starts shouting at me right in my face, yelling, you think this is funny? And, are you trying to make me look stupid? There are bubbles of spit in the corners of his mouth. He went from 0 to 100 so fast it genuinely kind of scared me, and I just retreated a bit into my apartment. When I backed away, he took it as a personal offense and started screaming, oh, now you're scared? You're scared of me? Guess I'll just fug off then. He storms off, literally stopping his feet like a child down the hallway. I thought about chasing him, but he was so irate that I didn't think it was a smart move. The whole interaction was less than 5 minutes. I closed and locked my door and immediately started making phone calls. I called my mom, uncle, and siblings. Nobody has any idea what just happened. I did ask my mom and sister if I was the crazy one and did have children I just forgot about. They confirmed I certainly didn't. It's tomorrow morning and I haven't heard anything back. Update. I finally found my dad. My uncle took him to the hospital the night of the incident. Anyone who bet on head injury and drugs? You're correct. There was no second family. I wish there was. My dad would just be in drama-related trouble and not medical trouble. He's got a massive concussion and serious brain damage. Doctors don't know how he managed to even drive to my apartment safely. They think he was on autopilot since he takes that freeway nearly every day. The Phantom kids are his coworkers. His brain somehow blended the details of his coworker's life into his own. Coworker has a daughter who is married and has 2 kids, and the memories of being told about the girls mashed together with memories of his own daughter. The doctor says this is pretty common with head injuries.